Okay, now we are doing 4 examples of factorization using perfect squares. So we have two identities for perfect squares, x plus 1, x plus y whole square, x minus y whole square. So we are given with the terms like this, x plus 2xy plus y square. So we have to identify what are the values of x and y, what are our values for which we have perfect squares. So this term is a perfect square of something like a plus b whole square. So we have to find what are the values of a plus b for which this term is a perfect square. Because it has x in it, therefore we are taking a and b. So we don't get confused with the variables, because x plus y, this identity can be written in the form of a plus b whole square. So we can write as a plus b whole square equals a square plus 2ab plus b square. So we will identify the values of a and b from this, and if this whole term is a plus b whole square, by using this right side of the equation, we will confirm by using this side of the equation, then we can write the answer in the form of a plus b whole square, which will be the factored form of this polynomial. So by looking at this equation, we can see that the first term is the square of 2x. So we can take a equals 2x, because 4x square is a square. So a square will be equal to 4x square, which is the first term. So first term is okay. Now what is 9? 9 is the square of 3. So our b is 3, because b square will be 9 if we take b3. So first and last terms are your first clue in this situation when you are factorizing using the perfect squares, because first and last term are any two terms. Sometimes, look at the last example, last term is not a square. So when I say last term, I mean the last term of the identity. If you look here, the last term of the identity is y square and the first term is x square. So first you have to figure out which one is the square of something and which one is the other variable is the square of something. So you have to figure out two such numbers. So 2x and 3. Now this is the last part, which is the critical one, because the middle term will decide whether this trinomial is a perfect square or not, because we cannot change this 12x. We just have to check. We have taken a 2x and b 3. So what is the value of 2ab? This one, using this a and b. So 2b equals 2 multiplied by 2x multiplied by 3. 2 into 2, 4 into 3, 12 into x, so 12x. Since our middle term is 2ab, this term is b square, this term is a square, so it is confirmed that this trinomial is a perfect square and it is equal to a plus b whole square. So we can write it as 4x square plus 12x plus 9 is a perfect square of a plus b. A is 2x and b is 3. So we have factorized the polynomial because this is a factored form. So this was example 1. Now example 2, 4x square minus 20xy plus 25x square. So this is a square term and this is a square term. So whose squares are these terms? 4x square is, again, we can say that a is equal to 2x, then a square will be 4x square. So we are getting a from 4x square, but I'm writing in this way that a is 2x, then a square will be 4x square. So if I take b equals 5y, then b square would be 25y square, which is the third term. Now the middle term will decide. Ignore the sign at the moment because we have both identities. One is the minus and one is the plus. We have identities for both. So this question is of the form x square minus 2xy plus y square. So I am taking AB because you don't get confused with x and y and a and b. Because our x, this x is 2x. This x is our a. Because 4x square is the square not of x square but of 2x square. So therefore I am using a and b, two new symbols. Now the middle term will decide. So what is the value of 2ab? 2 multiplied by 2x multiplied by 5y. Or you can say minus 2ab. So minus 2ab. 5 into 2, 10 into 2, 20xy. So minus 20xy, which is our middle term. So we can write down again that 4x square minus 20xy plus 25y square is equal to 2x plus 5y whole square. So this is the answer. This is a factorized form, just like this. Now example 3. Our a in this case is 2x square, because only then a square will be equal to 4x raised to the power 4, because the power is 4 here. So our a is 2x square. Now a square is 4x4. What is our b? b equals 3x, because only then b square will be 9x square. Now this is the most important term, which should be equal to 2ab. And what is 2ab? Can you realize that there is no y here? It seems that there is only x, but it doesn't make any difference, because these identities are true for all values. So we can treat both variables a and b, both variables can have value in x, because these values are not same. One is 2x square, one is 3x. Whatever value of x has, we don't care. We only know that this equation is in the form of some perfect square, and we are trying to find out. So, but AB notation helps here. It's good to use AB so you don't get confused when solving these type of questions where there is only one variable. It looks like there is only x, but x doesn't matter, it's x. Still we can treat this as a perfect square. But the third term will decide. So what is 2ab? 2 multiplied by a is 2x square, and b is 3x. So 3 into 2, 6 into 2, 12. X square multiplied by x is x cube. So because we have 12x cube in the middle, so it means this whole polynomial is a perfect square of what? A plus b whole square. What is a? 2x square plus b is 3x. So this polynomial is a whole square of this. So you can write this whole polynomial equals this much, and that would be your answer. Now example 4. Now what is a here? 25x square is a square of 5x. So our a is 5x. What is our b? So this is the square term. So it doesn't matter whether you write this term in the middle or at the end. Because of the commutative property, you can exchange the position of these two terms. So this is our term, which is the square of 3y. So our b is 3y. Now this term is a square, this term is b square, this should be minus 2ab. So what is minus 2ab? Minus 2 into a is 5x and b is 3y. 10 into 3, 30, so minus 30xy. So which is the middle term? This is the middle term. So it means this whole polynomial is a perfect square of a plus b. So we can write that the polynomial, whatever is the polynomial, is equal to perfect square of 5x plus 3y. So this is your factored form. So you have factorized the polynomial. So you have seen that a square is there, b square is there, 2ab is there. So when you add a plus 2ab plus b square, you get a plus b whole square. So this is our a and this is our b. So this is the way you factorize the perfect square polynomials. So hopefully you will be able to solve all the homework problems now.